In this video, I'm going to break down how I was able to scale my passion for basketball training into a measly few clients and really just a hobby into a legitimate service-based business with hundreds of clients, multiple locations, and multiple trainers underneath me. So I'm going to break down exactly how I did it, how I scaled, so you guys can do the exact same thing for any service-based business that you're running. The very first thing that I was worrying about in terms of scaling is I need more clients. That's usually the very first problem, is I don't have enough clients to even scale in the first place. If I hire somebody, I don't have enough clients. I can't go get another location because, again, you don't have enough revenue, enough clients already paying you to scale. So that is the very first problem. And a lot of people don't really scale initially because, oh, I need to optimize this. I need to make sure this is perfect. That's not scalable, so I'm not going to do that. The very first thing you should be worrying about is getting so many clients that you cannot handle them, that I need to bring on somebody else, or I have to turn clients away. That is the first problem that you want to have within your business. But most people don't get there because they say, oh, I want to make sure, I have everything set up in place perfectly so that when I do get there, I can scale. When in reality, you want that to be a problem. That is a good problem to have, is that you have so many clients that you can no longer handle them. So the way that you're going to get there is mastering lead generation, which is exactly what I did. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can get there. I would say lean into what you are good at. The two biggest focuses that I had in terms of getting leads and generating and getting more clients was, number one, is focusing on my product. I was obsessive with, okay, how can I improve my ability as a trainer, getting results, focusing on the clients, serving them to the best of my ability. Because I knew, hey, if I take care of this client, they're going to get results. Other people are going to hear about it and they're going to tell other people. And I knew that that was one of the best ways to get more clients. I was right, but I was obsessive with that. Okay, how can I improve my product? How can I be a better trainer myself? And then the second thing that I focused on was social media. Now, at this time, I had no idea how to run ads. I was also kind of an introvert, so I didn't really want to go out and talk to people and, cold call people. I was just focused on product, getting better at my craft, and then social media. I was posting every single day, and I just knew, hey, this is just exposure. If I can get 1-3 clients off of this, it's worth it. And the other best part about this was it also helped me get better at my craft, because every day I'm making a video, okay, on this topic, on that topic. I have to explain myself. I have to be able to present that information in a way that's engaging. I have to explain it in a simple way, which takes a large depth of knowledge. So by posting that content on social media, I was also getting better at my craft. I was also getting exposure, which is getting me more clients, which is helping me get better at my craft. So this was just a cycle that I really did for about 2 years. And as I started to build up a following on social media, that's when I started to get clients off of that. And then once I did that, okay, I started getting more clients, maybe I had 20, 30. Then I started to dabble with ads, and I didn't really master ads until years down the road, which I wish I did earlier. And that's just a brutal lesson that you kind of have to learn, that the greatest cost that you are probably going to incur in the beginning of your business is not knowing what you could know, not being where you could be, or not having all the clients that you could have. It cost me $5,000, $10,000 a month by not having 50 clients a year, 2 years earlier. So the faster that you can master these skills, the faster you're going to speed up the growth of your business, and the faster you're going to be able to make more money. So it's 100% worth it to spend money on your knowledge, which is largely what I did, especially in my craft, but not as much on the business side of things. So once you can master that, once you can master, okay, getting enough leads, I am completely maxed out. Maybe you're working 60, 70 hours a week. Now the second step is hiring somebody to start to buy back some of your time, to free you up to do more of the servicing of the client, or whatever the highest ROI task in your business is. So this can be hiring somebody within your business or also outside of your business. So you can hire somebody to do your emails, your admin, maybe even edit some of your social media content, things that you may not be the best at or aren't the most important things that are actually driving revenue. I can hire somebody at $15, $20 an hour to do this. That can free me up to do a whole nother hour of training. Maybe I make $100, $150 an hour. That's a great trade-off. You want to make that all day long. Or it can even come in the form of hiring somebody outside of your business. So hiring somebody to buy your groceries, pay someone to go get your dinner in the form of Uber Eats or whatever. Any little task that you have to do during the day that is just not really driving revenue, you can hire somebody for that task. Again, anything to free up more time, to give you time to serve those clients and to make money within your business. So for me, this came in the form of editing content. I was probably training 25, 30 hours a week at this time. I was filming content, I was editing content, I was doing all the admin work, I was learning. So I was working 60, 70 hours a week, but I was only training 25 to 30. And then I was able to bring somebody on to start editing and filming my content for me. So I was able to grow even more in that area, generate more leads, generate more interest, generate more followers on my social media. And then in turn, that's bringing me more clients, but I'm not spending more time doing that. So again, now I have more time. Maybe that freed up 5, 10 hours a week where I can continue to train. And that's exactly what happened. So I freed up that time. I was paying somebody to do that. But then on the back end, okay, now I was able to add 5 to 10 hours a week where I was training every single week that I wasn't before. So I was able to add those extra 10 hours. But again, quickly, I'm going to hit a point where I can no longer work more hours. And the only way that I can really scale or make more money was just simply charging more money. And that also is going to have a limit. So once we hit that point where, okay, you completely max out your time, working harder, working more hours isn't going to make you money. You now need to pivot, scaling in a different way and completely almost restructuring the way that you do things. So now the two ways from here that you can continue to scale, which is also what I did, is you can scale via people and you can scale via code or media. So this is content online, programs, maybe you have a website, a blog, whatever. So on the media side of things, that's where I started, making some programs. At first, absolutely terrible, but I was able to make some money off of that. So off of my content that I was building, the social media person, editing content, okay, now I'm able to create more programs so I can start to train people who may be not local and start to sell information so I can make money that's not tied to me working more hours and utilizing that audience that I was able to build. So I was able to do that, really only making maybe $100, $200, $300 a month at first. We were able to scale that to making a couple thousand, which was great. But at the end of the day, again, that's not what I was trying to do. My specialty was not necessarily media, social media. That's not the route that I wanted to go down. I wanted to go more so down the road of hiring other people and growing the in-person side of the business. But this was just a great way to essentially pay for my marketing cost, where I'm actually generating clients from my marketing and it's paying for itself via whatever I'm paying for my editors is also then being covered by YouTube AdSense, by the programs that we're building. And then I can just keep driving all that revenue, all that extra traffic into the in-person business where I'm able to make even more. So then I was finally able to hire another trainer to work under me. So now I was able to continue with lead generation, bring in more people, and I'm not the one working. I'm not working more hours, but we're training and we're handling more clients. So this is a tough point of your business because usually you have to give up a little bit of trust. It's also just a completely new skill set where each aspect of this where you're continuing to scale is going to take on new skill sets. By hiring somebody, okay, that's a new skill set. Managing somebody, expectations, systems, those are all completely new skill sets that you're going to need to learn. And same thing with, okay, now I need to organize a whole nother client. Same thing with hiring a new person. Same thing with hiring a new trainer. I need to now learn how to train somebody in what I'm good at. A lot of people who are just good at whatever they do, it's all just subconscious. They don't even know what makes them so good. So you need to break down, you need to start building out standard operating procedures. What makes you good? How do I train this person? How do I reverse engineer what made me good as a trainer and do it the same way for them, but in a much shorter period of time? So that way your quality of your product is still high, right? Because you don't want to bring somebody on, they expect to be training with you or under your brand that you obviously built a reputation around, and then you hand them off to somebody who just does a shit job. So you need to figure out, okay, how do I manage quality? How do I make sure they're good on this end? And then that's another skill within the business. And then your job doesn't just become, hey, I gotta actually train. Now I need to become more of a business owner. So I was able to do that, build up, continue the lead generation machine, and then start to funnel more clients to this person. And again, I'm essentially just taking a cut of that, obviously paying the employee, and then, okay, any profit above that, that's where I can start to make my money. And another big thing when it comes to scaling is you're going to need to take a step back at times to take 2 steps forward. When I first hired the social media content creator, editor, whatever you want to call it, I was losing money at first because I'm not making that money back. That's marketing costs. Essentially, it's advertising. That's saving me time that I can use to then train. So I'm not getting a direct ROI on that, but I'm getting a direct ROI over here. It may take 2, 3, 5 months to be able to make that money back, where then you're starting to see increased growth. So a lot of people don't want to do that because, oh, I don't want to pay $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, and I gotta take that money for myself. Yeah, but it's going to scale in the long term and make you more money down the road, or most people don't want to do that. Same thing with hiring a trainer. First 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you might not make money on it because, okay, you're paying them more than they're bringing in, but eventually then you're bringing in 10,000, you're paying them 5, and then you're bringing in 15, you're paying them 5, or whatever it may be, right? I'm just giving you guys random numbers. And that's where you're going to build a profit and be able to continue to scale down the road. Then you take that money, put it into another trainer, and then that's where you can continue to scale. But each new point of scaling is going to take new skill sets. It's going to take new risk. It's going to take you taking a little bit of a step backwards to take 5 steps forward. And that's just the way that it works. But most people don't want to do that because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. And mentally, they just don't want to take that risk or to take that step back, because for them, that might be a lifestyle change. For them, that might be a sacrifice that they're not willing to make. But that's what it takes to be able to continue to scale your operation. So really, at the end of the day, it just comes down to what problems do you want to have at every point of your business. There's going to be a problem. At first, you have the problem of not making enough money. Then you want to get to the point where you have too many clients. You can't train everybody. Then you're going to have the problem of having to manage people, having expectations, having to train people. Then you're going to have problems with, okay, we don't have enough space to train these clients. Now I got to go get another space. That is the whole point of business. There's always going to be problems, but it's what problems are you willing to deal with and continue to move up the ladder of dealing with bigger and better problems that are going to make you more money. So that is the simple structure. If it's to the point where you don't have enough time to service those clients, hire somebody to free up more of your time, hit your max, then hire somebody else, get to that same point for them, then hire another person. Maybe you're hiring salespeople, maybe you're expanding, getting multiple locations. It's really as simple as that. So don't overcomplicate it. But this is just the exact structure and exact thing that I did to scale my business. So if you guys want help doing the exact same thing or solving any of these problems that I talked about in this video, feel free to hit our website down below, schedule a call. Talk to you then. See ya. Peace.